You can become a note origination consultant to private sellers selling their property and teach them how to structure the note correctly. You'll learn how to do deals like these. Now, this is a deal that looks pretty good, okay? Now, let me give you kind of the background on this. Guy calls me up, sees our ad, and he tells me about his note. He says, okay, Lee, here's what I got. I got a condo, it's worth 600 grand. I wrote a note for 438,000 to my parents. But I'm now in the midst of a divorce, so I'm willing to let the note go for the amount of money that I need to pay off my ex-wife to get her to leave the rest of my estate alone. Okay. Now, at first glance, I'm looking at this deal going, okay, wait a minute. This is a deal on Cocoa Beach. I love Cocoa Beach, beautiful area. So if they don't pay and I can foreclose, I don't mind owning it. So that's critical. But as I start digging into the due diligence, he sends me the note as he originated it, and he wrote the note at 0% interest. Okay, mistake number one. He wrote no monthly payment requirements. The parents only have to make one annual payment whenever they want to. So they've got no trigger for default, okay? Number three, he didn't put any balloon in it. He put in adjustments, so it's 0% interest. So the payment on this loan is like $438 a month through 2030. It then accelerates to 1.5% interest from 2030 to 2040. And then there's a final balloon payment. It was a 30-year loan. I think he originated in 2021. So in 2051 is when this loan gets paid off. Now, do you honestly think that the parents are going to go out and refinance this deal? They have 0% interest through 2030. Interest rates are at 7.3. No way they're refinancing. No way we can trigger default to encourage refinancing. So normally on a note like this, what we would do is we'd buy it at a discount. So I would go, let's say that I bought it for $175. I then go to the parents and I say, hey, you owe $438,000 on this note I just bought. I bought it for $175. If you'll go down and refinance and get a new mortgage for $250, I'll shave off like 150 grand of what you owe. And so they go down and they do some math and they go, okay, well, Lee, even if we buy the note from you, even if we pay you $250 for the note, we're going to have to get a loan at 7.3%, which means our payment's going to be $2,200, and right now our payment's only $400. Sorry, we're not refinancing. Nothing I can do, which means I'm now left holding the bag on this loan, 175 grand tied up, earning 0% interest, when I can get 5.3 in a CD. Not interested in the loan. So the guy calls me back. He says, okay, Lee, he says, Lee, I know we agreed to 175 and I know you've pulled out, but is there a number you would buy the note for? And I said, well, yeah. I said, you wrote it at 0%. It's paying $400 a month. So I did some quick math and I said, okay, look, if I take $400 a month times 12, that's $4,800. So for me to get a 10% yield on $400, I said, look, all right, $400 is the payment. This is a 30-year term. The loan amount, let's call it, I want an 11% interest. I said, I can pay you $42,000. That's what the math says, okay? And I'll teach you guys how to do this during the class, because literally within a 30-second conversation, I said, I can pay you $42,000 for your $438,000 loan. Now, do you think he was thrilled? No, he was pissed. And he dropped all kinds of four-letter explicitives, many of them starting with the letter F, and all kinds of things that he suggested my team and I do to ourselves, which I don't even think biologically is physically possible. But he was mad. And he should have been mad, because this type of stuff should have been taught to him in grade school or elementary school, because these are not like blow your hair back things, you guys. Charge an interest rate, put in a monthly payment, do an accelerant, create a trigger, write in a balloon, he very easily could have written a note that helped his parents, but had it paper that could be sold on the secondary market for a price better than 10 cents on the dollar. You can become a note origination consultant to private sellers selling their property and teach them how to structure the note correctly. If he would have structured this note correctly, I would have been willing to pay not 175 grand. I probably would have been able to pay him like 350,000. You could have offered him 300. I'd pay you 350. You make 50 grand on the deal. I get a great note that yields me 15%. He gets the lion's share of his cash out of the deal, but he didn't have you. He didn't have me. He didn't know what he was doing. And as a result, that note is literally worth 10 cents on the dollar in the open market. Now, he told me to do all these terrible things to myself about a week ago. I have every expectation that he's going to call back. Mark, I'll give you guys an update during the 3-day training. I would almost guarantee that I buy that note for 40 grand. Mark my words.